Welcome to the latest Siemens Partner Podcast edition, a podcast for partners to give some insight and perspective and dive into the world of Siemens. We will be discussing various issues, challenges and gaining insight from our esteemed guest. So let's get going. Today's guest is a Solution Partner Conference legend, Mr. James Cottle. So James, welcome to the Siemens Partner Podcast from sunny Manchester. How are you?
Yeah, very well. Thank you, Mark. Thank you for the lovely introduction.
That's fine. Not a problem, sir. Right. So what I normally do to sort of break the ice and get things going, I ask all my guests this question. You're hosting a dinner party for 5 people, and you're one of them, of course. What 4 other people would you invite, either dead or alive, but must be famous?
Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, I think for me, I'd love to meet or would have had met, because he is now passed, which would be Steve Jobs. I think he'd be a fascinating individual to have a conversation with. Another one for me would be maybe more controversial now, but Elon Musk. You know, I was loving, and I am loving everything he does with SpaceX in terms of the innovation and the rapid development processes they go through. Yeah, a bit of a more controversial character right now in terms of some of the stuff he's doing in politics, but I still think there's lots you could learn from someone like himself. I don't know how famous this would be, Mark, it'd show my age, but a YouTuber called Colin Furze. I don't know if you've ever heard of him. He's got 13 million followers on YouTube, and he's a Yorkshireman, and he makes these crazy engineering projects and has an amazing attitude, and I'd love to just talk to him and meet him and see the tunnel he's built under his house in Yorkshire. That would be fascinating. And yeah, I thought maybe it's in my head because I watched a lot of Only Connect over Christmas with all the specials they did, but Victoria Coren Mitchell would be quite interesting to have around a dinner party table, don't you think? Yeah,
that's very diverse list, to say the least.
Well, this is it, and I thought she'd be interesting to know, is she actually that smart? You know, we could test her, and worst comes to worst, we could have a good game of poker. So.
Yes, I've heard she's very good at that. I was seeing that, in the past. I mean, that's a very diverse. I've never heard of Colin. Shows me age. So, but that's absolutely great, James. It's very, very diverse, and thank you for that. So, there's a few areas I wish to cover in the time we have, and the first one is you've been with Siemens nearly 18 years now, at the forefront of supporting our customers with the latest and greatest technology. How has the fast-paced evolution of industrial technology impacted the support our customers need?
Yeah, great question. I mean, I think fast-paced evolution is almost an understatement of how things have gone, and what I've witnessed, at least in that time. You know, whenever I'm meeting customers and touring them around our digital experience centre here in the Manchester head office, I'm always saying, like, I have no idea in terms of what's going to be the next thing in 5 years. I was trying to reflect on it earlier. Right now, AI seems to be very popular, and how that's sort of getting traction in our industry. But you only have to go back 5 years and think, we were launching Industrial Edge, and in terms of what that now does in terms of remote telemetry or cloud computing or edge computing as well in there. And then 5 years prior to that, digital twins, virtual commissioning was all kicking off. So it's literally constantly changing and innovating, and when you're in it, you kind of have no idea what's the next thing that's going to be giving us these challenges in 5 years. And for our customers and our partners in particular, who are out there putting together these fantastic solutions for their customers and our customers, it can be hard to stay up to date on these products and how they can benefit them. It's not just a case of, it's easy to say, this is the latest buzzword. Well, it's not a buzzword. There is something behind this, and how do we help them understand what that value is to deliver, solutions into the industry?
So would you say then that areas like digital twin are more mature now? Has everybody embraced it, or has it still got a way to go in your view? I
think, for a while it always seemed like it was new, and people were still talking about it was new. But, it was interesting because I think Siemens were at the very forefront of that in terms of promoting this technology. 2016 we started talking about virtual commissioning, which seems like a long time ago now. That's when version 1 of PLC Sim Advanced came out, which was a catalyst for us in that area. And I think, the industry has caught up. A lot of competitors also have solutions for this out there now. But through that has meant that it's become more mainstream. People are seeing it as a way forward, and not waiting for physical hardware to be delivered to their offices or their site until they start performing tests, but actually saying, you know what, we can test this right now.
Yeah.
We can see what errors we might have ahead of time, and de-risk these projects through doing it. And it's great to see our partners in particular embracing this, and it's great to see what challenges that gives them as well. Because they're the ones who are pushing it to the limits. They're the ones going, I've done this, but I'm struggling with this bit, and you go, that's really fantastic, but you are now pushing it.
You've got a bit too far.
This is it in terms of what the capabilities are. But it's fantastic because it means they're working differently, they're working smarter. In theory, they'll be reducing their costs, their engineering costs, but more importantly, de-risking their applications that they're delivering into the industry.
So I suppose that's a knock-on. So you said cost is a big thing with everybody nowadays, isn't it? And the way it's going on that front. So how do, well, it comes to the next question really, how do we support our partners keeping up to date and innovating? Because that's a question that's always leveled to me, that Siemens bring out reams of stuff and they don't know about it, or or what have we done, or how are we doing it now, type of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I guess it's how you stay up to date with the latest information, where you go for your data, right?
Yeah.
But for all customers, globally in Siemens, C-Portal is our platform where we provide information with regards to our products.
Yeah.
You can download all the latest information, application examples, getting started, video tutorials. That's available to everyone, and you can subscribe through there to stay up to date. Our partners, though, get it even better, don't they? Because they have things like this, your podcasts, and the video updates you do as well to make sure they're up to date with what's occurring in the region. But more than that, they get the access into the centralized delivered webinars as well. Every month there's at least one, if not two, webinars going out to them on the latest innovations. They're hearing it. Typically, our partners are hearing some stuff at the same time we're hearing it, from the headquarters with regards to exactly what features have landed in a particular update and package that we're pushing into the market. And I was looking through the webinars they had in 2024 just now, and somatic robot control, AI, digital drivetrain, cybersecurity, optimizing PLC programming. There's so many fantastic topics in there that are pushed out to them on a regular basis. And I guess there's always that argument of, there's an overwhelming amount of information. But it's about being smart with your time and knowing where to deploy it to stay up to date. So
I mean, when I think of it, with all this great technology coming out, and I look at it from a solution partner perspective, because that's, even though this is a partner podcast, it's me around all the new expert modules that are coming out, and they're coming out at rate of knots, and they're diversifying, and they're bringing people out of comfort zones. Do you see that as from a support side and an innovative side? Do you see that as a game changer for us at Siemens, do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. I think what's nice for the partners is we're not just bringing out these modules as like, here's a webinar, you get 1 hour, you learn about it. We absolutely try and give more depth than that, right? So they have the webinar, behind that will be a wealth of information, but hopefully there'll then be in the Partner Academy a learning journey associated with it, right? So it's a case of, here's a quick slideshow, 20 minutes, an hour, you can learn about the technology, and now here's a learning module, there's the instructions, work your way through these steps to really get hands-on exposure. And that Partner Academy with the access to the software and the hardware hosted in the cloud. All you need is a web browser. Anyone in your company can access this. Is absolutely fantastic. And I think what's really nice from a Siemens perspective is those web-hosted PCs we give access to the partners. It's not just got Siemens and Somatic software in there. It's got tools that engineers would use on a regular basis. That third-party tools that aren't necessarily Siemens ones, like Wireshark for tracing what's occurring on the Ethernet network, and UA Expert for doing OPC client testing. So there's so much tools that are readily available that you could go through a learning journey and learn a module, but also you could go, I would really like to know, could you do this with a unified comfort panel? I don't have one right now. But on the Partner Academy, I can access a box, I can connect to a unified panel, and I can have a go. Yeah. And I think, referring to like Elon Musk earlier, where the SpaceX approach seems to be a lot of let's see what happens, let's give it a go. I mean, I guess he's got the money to do that, right? Yeah. But in some cases, just getting hands on and having a go is the best way of learning as well.
Okay. Well, James, the first part of this podcast actually flown by, so we will be back in a moment with part 2.
Okay.
Thank you for joining us, and see you soon.